Hey guys, for you Lion fans, kind of a bummer here the last few days, but hey, they had a great year and it's going to be exciting to see what they do next year. Let's talk about the inventory situation. Here at a different dealership here in Michigan, you guys probably seen this. I've been here many times in the past. Inventory situation looks a little better than when I was here last time, but I did notice some things outside of Super Duty. I noticed some things with Maverick and Expedition. Let's do this. This is kind of a perfect setup in this actually dealership lot. We got Platinum, Lariat, STX. You're going from the lowest level, believe it or not, STX is just an XL with a really nice appearance package, all the way to almost the highest trim level available right now at this dealership. But what's wild is their inventory is actually down quite a bit. I'm curious if any of these are 25s. Let's just see this real quick. That's a 24. Here's a perfect example, and this is a sweet looking truck. This truck is almost a year old, 300 plus days old of inventory. Platinum 250 high output diesel. Why the heck is it still here? Some initial thoughts I've got. It's a 250, not a 350 and a single rear wheel. So maybe a little less customer there, but the color looks nice. $98,000. Dude, if I was gonna buy this, I'd say put a brand new battery in there, especially as cold weather. Here's another diesel, 24. This one's 5 months old. So that's pretty, it's at 5 times 30, 150 days old. Here's an STX. Got a 7.3, I'm assuming. Yep, 7.3, 373 gears. This truck is 7 months old. So that's 210 days old. 7.3, standard output, high output. 3 trim levels, 3 engines, still available. Ton of fleet trucks, different engines, different trims. Got one appearance package, the rest are just base level XLs. And then you got a Lariat with a high output. And this is a 350, and I can already tell by looking at that hub, it's a 24. Sure enough, 24. And this truck is 5 months old, so 150 days old, inventory still available. But we kind of go down this, believe it or not, they've got a nice selection, but it's actually considerably less than they had before because this entire row was actually filled with Super Duties. It's trucks like this that I think it's super weird that this truck is available right now as a 24 hybrid Lariat Maverick. This has been a highly desirable truck the last few years, and it's available. But another thing I want to kind of show you guys, 25 Mavericks are starting to show up. There's your difference, 25, 24. Really curious what you guys think on this. And here's a trimmer. Dude, that's actually pretty cool looking. For a little tiny subcompact truck, I think it's kind of cool. Let's take a guess, guys. What do you think this thing is? I can already tell it's got leather interior. I bet this is $40,000. Just curious. Darn close, $41,900. I don't know, that's a lot of money to me for a little tiny subcompact truck. And honestly, the whole point in buying these little trucks is get a hybrid so you get great fuel economy. I would probably never buy one with a 2.0. Nothing against it. Here's also kind of a perspective of Ranger next to a Maverick size-wise comparison. A handful of Rangers, but nothing crazy with inventory. One hybrid. All the rest of these things are standard 2 liters. Now I'm curious, I know this is a 24, but I'm curious to see how old this truck is. Two and a half months old. So the question is, why am I sharing this? Well, people have been having questions. First off, actually, I want to clarify. People have said, you know, you're really pushing these Fords hard. Arguably, I've been a Ford fanboy. If you watch my channel, you can tell that. I don't work for any dealership. This is just me as an independent person trying to give you guys perspectives from my experience in the automotive industry. So this trend is not much different than what I saw at Bob Maxey. Less Super Duties than what we saw recently there. Surprisingly, more Mavericks. And if there was a down economy, that kind of says something. It's interesting because Maverick's typically been a hot seller. They've got a handful of them, but to be fair, only one hybrid. Does that truck look familiar? That is the one we had parked right next to the RHO we did a review on about 3 months ago. 2024 801A, still available. So the guys at Bob Maxey told me recently, I said, what's the best selling vehicle right now. He said, you're gonna laugh, the Mach E. I said, are you kidding me? He said, the Mach E, they're offering some good incentives now, and that's been one of their biggest sellers. But they got a handful of them, not a ton of them, but check out the Bronco selection. A bunch of Broncos. Curious to see how many Bronco Raptors they've got. I think there might be one on the end here. Not a Bronco Raptor. A bunch of standard Bronco Sports. A few Explorers, and those are all 25 model year, but not a lot. You can definitely tell inventory is cleared out quite a bit. And especially, like, look at this right here. These rows are completely empty. Here's another perfect example. Look at how many Expeditions are available. Standard F-150s, XLTs. I don't see one Lariat there, but look at all the 2024 Expeditions. Why? Well, there's a refresh coming, so this is why we're seeing rebates. Now let's look at some Chevrolets. Hey, by the way, I want to give these guys a shout out. This is Susky Chevrolet up in Bertrand, Michigan. And here's the reason I'm going to give you a shout out of a phenomenal dealership. About 15, 20 years ago, we pulled a truck out of storage to pull a snowmobile trailer up north. It's super cold out. We stop in a restaurant. My wife and I, we get out. Can't get in the door, sorry. The key fob battery is dead for being in storage. I'm like, oh, dang. So I use the key, which I've never used, to get into the truck from the door side. Both door, driver and passenger door, the key locks would not work. They were like just, I don't know, rusted internally or what, but they were just jammed shut. We're like, holy cow. It's a Friday night. It's wicked cold out, middle of February in Michigan. We can't get in our vehicle. It's about 8 o'clock. We're like, what do we do? I walked over to this Chevrolet dealership and said, hey, I got a Silverado HD. I don't know if you guys can help me. These guys were like closing up shop. They're like 5 minutes past closing. A guy came over, walked over, and jimmied the door and got us into the vehicle. Then he said, do you have a key fob that works? I said, no, I don't. And he goes, hold on, let me go see if we got a spare. They take my truck over, program a spare for me, and said, have a good one. I'm like, well, hold up, how much I owe you guys? Like, dude, you don't owe us a thing, man. We feel bad you're in a spot trying to get up north. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. I told my wife, if I ever buy a new Chevrolet truck, these guys, ever since that experience, these will be one of the first guys I go to because of that one time. It said a lot about how they run their show. Maybe the people have changed since then, I don't know, but it impressed me. And I love seeing stuff like that. And that's why I want to give these guys a shout out. Anyhow, this dealership, these guys are a pretty small dealership, but they do have a Silverado electric. They do have a handful of electric vehicles here, and including a few Trail Bosses and Colorados. I've talked about this truck before. I think this is one of the highest value midsize trucks. $43,000. No, it's a lot of money, but it's hard to beat stuff like that right now, believe it or not. But there's not a lot of 24 inventory available. Like, I don't even see, let me see how many 24s are available in their half-ton segment. Normally they have more because this whole thing would be full. A lot of it is filled with used inventory. Let me see what these are. This is a 25. This is a 25. Here's a Turbo Max. Maybe this will be a 24. This is a 25. All right, let me go down a few. Do you see a trend here? I'm not seeing many 24s available. Let's see what this Z71 is right here. It's a sweet looking truck. I love the hood on that. This is a 25. All right, I want to get into showing you guys between Ford, GM, and Ram, specific around inventory. If we go on Ram's website, I set the search inventory, and I recommend anybody doing this that's in the market looking for a new vehicle. I mentioned this before. If you want to get a deal, do your homework. I search a zip code within 25 miles. There's 351 2025 Ram 1500s. I don't have anything selected other than four-wheel drive and on a dealer lot. Now, I can't break down that same level of feature. I can't do 25 miles. I can only do 20. And I also can't break down, I don't think, in-stock status. Nope. Now we look at Ford. Ford doesn't show you exactly how many vehicles are in stock. It says 100 plus matches. Now, if I want to break this down in just 24 or 25, it still shows the same. If I get rid of 24 model year, it also shows 100 plus. So if I had to guess, there's 100 plus 25s already available and 100 plus 24s. So we got 351, several hundred in the F-150. We do the same thing with the Silverado. All I've selected was crew cabs, Silverado 1500, and I did 24 and 25, but check this out. Here's what's interesting. Only 11 24s left. The rest, they're already on to 25 inventory. And look how many are available, 178. Half of the amount of a Ram. But what's even more interesting, Let's just go look and see what we've got. So if we go into offers right now for a Silverado, okay, number one, good luck finding a 2024. So these are pretty much done. And if you do get it, $4,400 down payment. That's a big down payment. Now, if we look at cash offers, you got $3,000. But good luck finding a 2024. So if you don't have a 2024, there's no discounts. Then we go to the Silverado HDs. What do they got for discounts here? Incentive rates. That's it. Nothing even on 3,500. So GM's not offering any discounts. We go to Ford. What's Ford offering? Contact your local dealer. They're not offering any specific discounts on Super Duty. This just says contact your dealer. So there's no specific discounts on Super Duty. Military recognition, first responder. I think each of these are like $500 each. Yeah, there you go. $500 each. And if you're currently in an Edge, you get a $1,000 discount. Featured offers, pricing, and incentives, nothing there. Let's see what a 24 Super Duty looks like for discounts. 3.9% financing. $2,000 cash back. XL, XLT, Lariat. So that's good. That's an extra $2,000 that wasn't there recently. But otherwise, I don't really see anything other than a $2,000 rebate, additional military recognition. That's it. We go to Ram. Ram's got a lot of big discounts. Look at this, $10,000 cash allowance. That's huge. There's a lot of big discounts. Current Ford owners, another $2,000. Here's another $6,000 if you get this this tradesman crew cab backs. Ram 1500s, man, right off the bat, you're talking 15 grand, 20% off or so. Point of sharing this video, if you guys are looking for deals right now, it's Ram, followed by a little bit of Ford and hardly any discounts from GM. Okay, I've read your guys' comments and complaints about the Ford F-Series and just some of the interior and leather quality. I want to include this, guys. I just saw this surfing Facebook Marketplace yesterday for a brand new 2025 Toyota. This is a Tundra 1794. And I'm looking at the leather and just kind of how the wrinkling and the design and everything. Keep in mind, this is a $75,000 truck and a premium. Look at the leather. Look at this corner right there. How the panels are coming together. Just the design of this. I mean, it's a sharp looking truck exterior wise. I love the color. This is not a cheap truck though. I would put this up with like a King Ranch, almost like a Platinum. Just look at the leather. That's what I'm trying to show you guys. This is a premium truck with a premium price. Okay, you give Ford a hard time, but you make a pass on Toyota? Dude, that's terrible. So I don't know what General Motors is doing, but man, these guys still seem to be selling trucks. I don't hardly see any 24 inventory available in their 1500s and 2500s. Just some in their mid-size truck. But when you compare that to a Ford and Ram, dude, these guys are doing a good job keeping their inventory low. Because of that, I wouldn't expect to see many discounts coming from GM anytime soon. Ford and Ram are going to be where your deals are at in the short term. Hey guys, anyhow, I'm going to be doing a follow-up on this on some other brands because I'm seeing a little bit of dip in inventories at other manufacturers. The one that really shocked me recently is General Motors. Dude, they're not offering any discounts on their pickup trucks right now. And the inventory situation, kind of all over the place, but there's hardly any 2024s available. This is where I still think Ford is going to be the one that's going to be doing heavy discounts soon. I don't know when it's going to happen. The inventory's dropping, but with 25 model year changes coming, and I was on the fence to buying one of these trucks, I would way rather get a 24 than a 25 Super Duty. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Have a good one.